and welcome to another EVE Online tutorial. Invention I'm going to be talking about in this video, and then later I'm going to do a video on just my daily activities in EVE, within that preparing to build a Rhea, which I will complete in the video, so it'll take me a while to do it, but I'll just clip it all together. So stay tuned for that. So this video is going to be on Invention. People have been asking me about it, wanting me to do a tutorial. Invention is changing or getting a Tier 1 blueprint copy into a Tier 2 blueprint copy. So you'll need a copy to begin with, and Datacores, as well as what's called an interface. And there's a nice website that I'll put on a link up here in the video that I use quite a bit because I don't memorize these things. There's a few aspects to Invention that are best just looked up as opposed to memorized. So as I go through the tutorial, though, I'll get into those. So the first thing we need to decide is what to invent. This is not going to be really a beginner activity. This is going to be something you might do later on in the game. Let's say you've got maybe tens of millions, maybe in ISK. You can invent into Tier 2 almost anything, including ships, including ammunition. For example, and I will just show you a few things before we keep going. Let's see. Going to corporation here. So, for example, here's a T2 blueprint. It's the T2 of an obelisk. An obelisk is a Galente freighter. This is an Anshar, which is the Tier 2 version of the obelisk, which actually is a jump freighter. I'll show you some other examples. Let's see. Where else? Oh, in here? Well, here's a bunch of blueprints that I'm going to invent someday. They're just a bunch of frigates. I guess I can just show you on here. If you right-click on a blueprint, it can be an original or a copy. These are all copies. You can go to Invention tab under Bill of Materials, go to Invention tab, and it'll show you both the skill requirements you must have. So you have to have all of those. And if you don't, it'll have a little circle or a little X. If it's an X, it means you don't have the skill at all. If it's a circle, it means you don't have the high enough level. And then at the bottom here is the materials. Most of the time it's just Datacores and then the interface. This interface is racial and type. So if this is a Caldari frigate, so that's why it's, I think the esoteric name is Caldari and it's blue. And then it's a ship, so it's ship, data interface. But there's also Galente, I don't know, there's a different name there. It's green, and then if it's a module, it has a different name here. So there's a bunch of different types of interface. These interfaces are not used up in the process of inventing, but the Datacores are. So here are the Datacores. You can get these off the market. You can get this off the market too. These interfaces, I believe, you can also get from doing archaeology missions and scanning missions. The Datacores you can get randomly kind of through missions sometimes, but also you got the market, and you can get them from research agents. And let's talk about that now. So let's talk about the materials first. Most of the time when you do an invention job, it's just these things right here. That's it. So that's one example. Let me do a couple more examples, and then I'll get into the Datacores. So there's just more ships. But how about some modules? So let's say I want the T2 version of Damage Control 1. I want Damage Control 2. So here's Invention. Here's what's required. And then down here. So notice the interface is different. It's brown. It's cryptic. So that's Mimitar, because this is a Mimitar module. All the modules have a race as well. And then it says Data Interface. I guess the other one was Ship Data. Was it Ship Data or was it something else now? I don't know. Maybe there's not a name there. But anyways, this is the module version. And notice even the icon, rather than being a ship, now it's like a circular kind of, I guess I could probably click on that. Now it's like a circle thing. So it's different. I'm not sure if the weapons are something else. Let's see. occult data. So this is a MAR. It's a laser, so it's a MAR. And so that's why it's yellow, the interface. And then it's a circle. But I thought there was another type, and now I'm not sure. Maybe for rigs? Maybe rigs has another type. Let's see. How about a strip miner? Strip miner is, I guess that's Caldari. Caldari, and it's blue. And let's see. I thought rigs. Not even sure where my rigs are. I do have some rig blueprints. Here's ammo. How about one of these? We can't invent that. Some things you can't invent. Here's you can get crystals T2. So there's occult, so that's a module. I know I have rigs. Let me see if I can find some rig blueprints. I got them in here somewhere. This is what happens when you play this game for a long time. You get all these containers I've gotten, and just they put stuff in them. Consider like playing other MMOs and you have a bunch of backpacks that you've got in like the bank, and each of the backpack you can name and have stuff in it. That's what I've done here with cans as well. So let's see, rigs. There should be rig blueprints somewhere. Modules, unused. Maybe in here. Here we go. Here's a here's one. So we want invention. Okay, here we go. Tuner. So there, it's got a square. So there's a different one there. That's a different interface. Like I said, interfaces don't get consumed. You just buy them once and that's it. You don't need to go out and buy them all. Just buy the ones you need. If to decide what you want to invent, it really just depends on the market. You really just have to calculate it out for yourself. A lot of the T2 stuff is not profitable. I'll tell you right now, it's not that exciting, really. I do very little T2 except for Reyes now because they're massively profitable. But they're going to sink you $2 bill or $2.5 bill or so of material costs. So this is like end game. But you can almost T2 anything with Invention. So for example, what you might do is you might go in here and say, well, I'd like to know what these, let's pick something simple like what I was doing before. I'd like to know what cap recharger 2s go for. Right? This blueprint here. So there's Invention, that's what you need down here. So what you could do is you can go to the market and you can go to cap recharger. And there's the T2 there. That's what it's going for right now. This is in the Citadel, though. This isn't. I'm not in the Forge region. I'm in the Citadel region, so you're not seeing JITA here. But you'd be best to go to JITA and check the price, or just go into the region. You don't have to be in JITA to check the price of the region, right? Because each market you get region data. So this is the price for cap recharger 2s. You simply have to calculate it out, see whether it's worth making, and just find out what the return on investment is, the profit percent. Now, if you watched my previous videos, you may have seen me use ML Calc to do that. ML Calc is not very good for T2. Sometimes the numbers are not right because of patches, and they change the material cost sometimes, or the materials that are required to make it. So sometimes they're screwed up. So I wouldn't depend on it. Okay, I'm going to look at now the blueprints itself. So here's a T2 blueprint I have. I did not invent it, as you can see, because I couldn't have. I would need this skill. Oh no, wait, where's invent? Oh no, this is already invented. What am I talking about? I can't copy it without those skills. Inventing this is a blueprint you would get if you had a successful invention. They are not guaranteed. There is a percentage. The percentage depends on 2 skills. They depend on the Datacores skills. Maybe I better start with a T1 and show you. Here's T1. Here's Invention. The percent chance of getting this to become a T2 blueprint depends on your mechanical engineering skill, how high it is, a MAR starship, I believe a small amount the encryption methods. So you don't want to be fooling around with inventing ships unless you've got these pretty high. But you can do modules. You're just going to fail a lot probably. And just keep in mind these costs too. So these two are the biggest improvements for the success rate, the Datacores. the skill the Datacore has, which are these here. So if you get a successful invention, you'll get one of these, T2. It'll be a copy. Notice that it's got a material level and a productivity level. These numbers are determined by another item that you use in the process. And that is called, geez, what is it called? I'll just type in one here. It's one I use a lot. You need these things, which are decryptors. Decryptors are voluntary. You don't have to put them in, but they do change the percent of success a little bit. And they also, there it is, for example, 10%. And they also change the material level and the productivity level that the resulting blueprint is. The default, if you just put in the data cores and the interface and you let it go, and you need a blueprint copy, of course. Any blueprint copy will do. The material level and the productivity level on the copy does not matter. You just start with the copy. Start with the copy and you go down to Invention. And then you pick the installation such as a public one. There's the blueprint. Ignore the input-output. Base item. Base item helps out, but it only helps if it's a module. I don't think ships it matters. You can put in the base item, which would be like the regular thing, like the Capri Charger 1 or whatever it is, like the actual module. Decryptors are voluntary. You can leave it as no. You can leave the base item as no as well. You don't have to put a base item in. You can leave the decryptor alone. And then, I don't know what that is. That's nothing output type. And then that's it. If you let it go and you're successful, you will get a blueprint with -4 material level and productivity level. Another thing to consider, the copy's runs matters. If the copy is a max run copy, so here, I'll take this example of this booster. Forget the material level and the productivity level. They are completely irrelevant. The runs do matter. If it is a max run copy, and you'll know that if these two are the same. See how it says licensed production runs remaining? That's what the copy has. Max runs per copy is what all of these types, the max runs they can have. As long as these numbers are the same, you've got a max run copy. If this number is any less, then you don't have a max run copy. And what that will mean is that your resulting T2, if it's successful, will not have the maximum runs for the T2 copy. It will have a run of 1. Well, so, for example, if I were to T2 this, if I were to invent this, if I was successful, this would become a 10 run medium capacitor booster 2 blueprint. 10, I believe, is the max for all modules for T2. 10 runs. If this had 100 runs left, this copy, with a max of 300, meaning that the copy could have had 300, the resulting T2 blueprint would have 1 run only on it. It doesn't matter if it was 299. It wouldn't matter. If it's not a max run, then you won't get the max at the end. Ships, it doesn't matter, because the max run is 1 anyways for the T2. You can't get a multiple run. Well, if you don't use decryptors, then the run on the copy doesn't matter for the ship. You'll still get 1. Certain decryptors will add runs to the blueprint for the T2, the resulting T2. The website that I show before, that one will tell you all that information, so I don't need to talk about it. You just pick the one you want. Decryptors are racial. There's 4. There are 4 kinds of decryptors, just based on race. And then after that, there's different kinds of decryptors. The decryptors they leave the runs alone and have like pluses to the ME and PE, or they add runs and they negative them. You can look at that on the website. I think that's intuitive. I don't need to talk about it. Okay, let me get into the data cores more. Every data core Every data core has a skill associated with it, because the normal way of getting data cores is through a research agent. Research agents are different than the mission agents. They do give you, the research agents do give you these little missions, but they're pointless. And they do give you what's called research points. But also the main point of the research agent is that it gives you research points every day without bothering the research agent. You just get them, as long as you sign up. Now the research agent, like any other agent, like a mission agent for example, requires a standing with the corporation to even talk to them. So if you do missions, for example, you start out at level 1 with a crappy quality on the agent. And as you get standing, as you do successful missions, you get standing with the corporation. The corporation then, the standing then gives you better agents. Eventually you'll get better quality ones, better quality level 1s. And then you'll get a really crappy quality level 2. And then you'll get better level 2s, and then you'll get a really crappy quality level 3, or level 3 agent. Same thing goes with the research agents. But I do not believe the research agent little quests they give you, which are always like, give me a bunch of trite, or give me, go deliver some little package. I don't think they give you any standing with the corporation, so you can't grind standing with the research agent. You pretty much just have to run missions for the corporation, get standings with the corporation, and then you can talk to the agent. And then the agent, here's a bunch of agents here. So if you click on Journal on the side, go to Agents, and then go to Research. It may show none if you don't have any research agents. The number of research agents you can have is 1 plus your skill in research project management. I have 5 in it. Plus 1 is 6, and I have 6 here, right? I do. I, of course, had to grind standing to get these people, but I've been playing the game a long time, so it's not difficulty. Here's some of the research corporations, for example. Ladai Corporation, Kala something, whatever, right? Core Complexion, Cartham is Amar, Core Complexion is Mimitar, Ladai is Caldari. I don't know what, this one's Caldari, I think, too. Calc. You just have to grind standing to get them, pretty much. Okay, now, data cores are for invention, but data cores, for the most part, are going to be money, free money, because they just tick research points per day. You don't have to talk to these people every day. You just let them run. They just do it. You just get points every day. And then what you do with the research points is you trade them in for data cores. I think it's 50 per data core, 50 points per data core. So you just go to the agent's station, and I'm going to go do that actually, just to show you, because I'm going to go and get some data cores. So let me pick a good ship here. I don't want to pick the, right now I'm in my green gremlin, which is actually a T2 Badger Mark II, which is called a Bustard. But it's kind of slow, so how about the Weezer? This is a Hurricane. I actually have a whole bunch of, let me take the old missile whistle here. This is a Drake that I used to use for missions. Okay, so I'm going to go to an agent that's close by just to show you. Let me see here. What's close? 9 jumps. 11 jumps. Oh, there's that one. 2 jumps. We're going to go to this agent here, and this agent does nuclear physics data cores. And all those other ones there you see are also a kind of data core. There are a data core for each race. The Starship ones, those Starship ones are for ships. And then the other modules use different data cores. Just whatever, just kind of randomly picked, I don't know, by the game creators. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pick some up just for fun. Like I said, the data cores are used both in Invention, but for the most part, they're a free moneymaker, really. So the quickest you can get research project management, I think it's called, get that up a few points, grind a bit of standing, you can get yourself a level 1 agent, level 2 agent, there's up to 4, level 4 agent, and to each agent, has several, I think maybe 4 or 5 different research projects, I guess, they can do. And the research projects are Datacores, certain kinds of Datacores. So, for example, this agent we're going to has nuclear physics, but this person also had a bunch of other ones I could have chosen. There are few agents that are level 4 and have all these ones here. So they're not plentiful, but you can just find them. I believe there's still a website called Eve Agents with a hyphen in the middle, eveagents.net, I think, or .com, one of them. You can just look them up. Look up and find what these research agents are. So to get the level of the agent will be the level of the research they can do. So these are all level 4 agents, and they all supply level 4 research Datacores, which just means that they give you more points. Nuclear physics will be one of the ones that she has, or he, and it'll be level 4. For me to get that kind of research agent doing nuclear physics for me, I have to have nuclear physics 4 as a skill, and I do. You can also get it to 5, and all that does just makes it better. It makes the RP per day, it just increases it. So, yes, we're almost getting in there. And what else to say? There's other Datacores there. Obviously, the ones that I research, I actually haven't looked at these in a while in terms of what ones I'm doing. But the choice of doing these particular Datacores was actually money. They were selling for the most money in JITA. Mechanical engineering is a fairly popular one, but it doesn't really matter if you pick ones that you're inventing, because why not invent the most expensive ones and then buy the Datacores you need from JITA? You don't have to invent, you don't have to find an agent that has the Datacores you need for some invention job. It's far better to invent the most expensive Datacores, the ones you can sell for the most in JITA, and then buy the Datacores you need from JITA to do your research, right? You know, it's just better use of your research agents that you can possibly have. So here is, now we're in this place here, and there's the R&D, so that says right there, level 4 R&D. So there's that Eindolfer person, that's that person there. So I'm going to talk to this person, and they're going to be like, oh, I know I haven't seen you in a while, I have a mission for you, and I'm just going to tell her to go away. I don't care about her mission. And I'm going to buy Datacores, and I'm just going to buy them all out. So 552 is the max I guess I can take. I'll take that, and then the research points should go down to almost nothing. There it is right there. I guess I got there for 50 each. Can I have another one? I want one more. Oh, they're 100 each. Okay, well, I guess they're 100 each. So then I'm going to go to assets, or not assets. I'm going to go to inventory. Oh, I've got enough room. Oh crap! I don't have enough room to take them all. Well, that sucks. I guess I'll just take a bunch. I'll have to get the rest later. That's annoying. I guess I didn't think they would. I wouldn't have that many. 500 or almost 600. Okay, well I'll just take these with me. Okay, I'm going to fly back now. So that's just how you do. That's how you get Datacores, and she'll just tomorrow there'll be more research points, and it just keeps going up. And you can take those Datacores and use them for an invention job, or you can sell them. And I'm probably just going to sell them. Okay, I will be right back when I'm back in my station, and I'll talk more about setting up an invention job. Okay, I'm back. I'm actually at my tower here. I just wanted to show you what you've got to do if you're going to run invention jobs out of I was going to say player-owned station. Player orbital structure. You can do invention jobs in public slots. Let me just show you here. You go to Invention. Go to... Oh, wait a minute, not that. Installations. installations and go down to Invention. And see, these are mine, but you can do public, and then go to, let's say, Constellation. There's some stations, and they're never full. Invention jobs. Oh, look at that. Holy crap, really? Oh, wow. I've never seen that. Never seen a whole station filled. Usually Invention public slots are pretty open. There's lots there, and there's a few there. You can do them there, but if you'll still need all the materials. But you can also do them at your tower with a mobile lab here. And I'll just show you inside it here. Go here. So I've got some interfaces already in here. So I do all. I don't know if I even have the interfaces anymore, the other ones. I mostly just do Caldari Invention. I mostly ship Invention, like, for example, turning a Charon blueprint copy into a Rhea blueprint copy. So that's what this one's for here. This one is for Galente ships, which I don't even know if I've done. I guess maybe the frigates or something maybe I've done. But I haven't done one of those in a while. But anyway, it just sits in there and it doesn't get used up. But what you will have to do is, if you're going to do an Invention job in your tower, you will have to come out here with your Datacores and put them inside here, as well as if you're going to use a decryptor, it's got to go inside here too. If you're doing it at a station, then it just has to sit in your inventory. You don't have to come out here. You just have to bring the interface and bring the Datacores with you. Oh, I've got a Charon that I just researched right here. Or no, lab. Here. I've got a Charon that I've just tried to invent. I started up 3 days ago. And so this is the moment right here. This is when you find out whether you've got a successful job or not. So I'm going to do it right now and find out. I got one. See? This is a chance. I believe it's about 40% chance to succeed. So I got a Rhea. So if you get it successful, it'll do this, and then it'll show it down here, a Rhea blueprint, 1 run, and then -1, -1, because I used a certain decryptor. If I didn't use a decryptor, it would be -4, -4. And then even if you use a different decryptor, it might have different runs on here. And, like, it might be like 2 runs and then -2, -2. There's other ones that give you, like, I think there's one that gives you 10 runs, and it has like -6. It's really crappy material level. Okay, so what else to Invention? I guess I can show you like what you would do. So if I went to here, I suppose I could dump those Datacores. Can invent an Orca. I guess I'll go to here. So if I was going to invent this capacitor, you just go down to Invention, and then you would say, okay, I want to use this public slot, which I'm not at. You would just click on it and go use, and then if you want to put a base, you can. Oh, I remember, actually, the base item. The base item is you put in different meta levels. If you just have a regular medium capacitor booster 1, I believe it gives you nothing. But what there are different meta levels of this module, and can just consider it like somebody has jury-rigged and modified the capacitor to make it a little different. So, for example, I'll show you here variations. This is the actual item before I had clicked on the blueprint. You see how there's these different random ones? They're like with different names. It's the same module. It's just it's been tweaked. These are meta levels. So, for example, if I click on this one, this brief capacitor one, this one is a meta level of 1. So it's the next one up from it. It's just a little better. Like, that's all. If I go to, let's say, this tapered one. This tapered one is meta 2. It goes into meta 4. And I think it's meta 4. Is it meta 5? And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Must be 4. And what those do, if you use those different meta levels, those give you a research bonus if you put them in the base item. So this base item, it's not, you don't need to do it, but if you want to, you can put in their meta levels of the item you want. And then the reason, of course, that people don't use that for ships is because there are no meta levels for ships. There's just the Hurricane, and that's it, or the T2 version of the Hurricane. Decryptors, like I said, are voluntary. You can put that in if you want, and then the output is going to be this. The reason why this is there is because some blueprints, few, but some, have different T2 possibilities. I'll show you one. One is a, what is it called? Condor. Let me see. Go in here. Here we go. Whoops. Let's say I wanted to invent this. Oh, I got to drag it out first. Okay, let's go and invent this. Output choices. Oh, I guess I got to pick this first. Okay. You can either get a crow or a raptor out of this. That's why that output type is there, because there are some there that will have a choice of T2 blueprint you can get out of it. And then you just start it up, and then if it's a module, I believe it only takes about 16 hours. If it's a ship, it takes 3 days, and you just hope for the best. And if you're successful, then you'll get a T2, and it'll just be in your inventory. And then you can do with it as you see fit. If you look at the materials, then you need all this kind of stuff here, all this random stuff. Alright, I think that's it for Invention. So this is not something that a new player would be doing, something for later on. And it's the calculations needed to figure out whether it's worth inventing something is not, will take some time up to do that. It's not inconsequential, all that work you'd have to do to figure out whether it's worth doing. And like I said, ML calc is not necessarily going to help you there. Alrighty, so that's it for Invention. If you leave any comments, any questions, and I will next e-video I do, then I'll probably have a look at those and answer them. But like I said, that website will pretty much tell you anything you need to know. There's all kinds of great wiki sites out there. You just have to find them and bookmark them and just use them for reference.